Hi everyone, thanks for coming out. This is truly just a reading of a first complete draft of a newest play of mine, but because it's been postponed twice, I feel like it's just built up some hype, which is nice. And I wasn't supposed to be acting in it. My roommate fell ill, but she is well enough to read stage directions, so this is Fiona Winch on stage directions. Brooks was cast originally, and since December has still made it to perform as Ethan and the other male roles in the play. Unfortunately, one of my other actors had a family tragedy, so my heart's with her, but filling in is Shannon Wilson, my graphic designer of a art director of a roommate who's now going to act as my best friend in the show. So it checks out. It checks out. She's never read through the full play either, so we're keeping it fresh theater. And then I'm Kameron Villavicencio. One last final just trigger warning. This does touch on sexual assault and domestic violence. It's not all about that, but I'm very big on trigger warnings and sensitive material. And yeah, I'm gonna put my acting skills are a little choppy. I've been looking at this as a director for the past month, so bear with me. But thank you everyone for coming out. I really appreciate it.
Confessions of a Wannabe Slut. A young human's lifelong sexual exploration. A play of sorts, by Kameron Villavicencio. Characters. Carmen, 25, Kameron at her best and worst, mostly at her worst. Male track, 25, Ethan, Adam, Luke, and all of Kameron's exes. Female track, 25, Nicole, cute girl at the end and middle. Setting, Kameron's disturbed mind. Note on set. The stage is minimal. There is one bed upstage. There are 2 fold-up tables, one stage left and one stage right, both with 2 chairs. Carmen sits after work at a pizza shop, devouring her slice bite by bite. At a table across from her sits a guy, relatively handsome, who eats his slice slowly. The 2 of them make eye contact, but look away after a moment. She peeks up to glance at him. He peeks up to glance at her. They make brief eye contact, then they go back to their respective slices. She runs out of pizza to eat and debates going for another slice. She looks up one last time as he looks at her and smiles. She turns outwards to the audience. Spotlight on Carmen.
This isn't what it looks like. I know what it looks like, the meet-cute moment where 2 strangers fall in love. Or maybe it looks like the beginning of a murder documentary on Netflix, but it's not. It's just a moment between 2 people that's relatively insignificant, which is a good thing because I don't want to fall in love. I mean it. I keep telling myself I'm not going to fall in love or write about love, and then someone breaks my heart, or I question the state of permanence in my life and the world, and my mind goes down a rabbit hole and I freeze, only to realize that the world isn't going to stop just because I want it to, but in fact, I don't want the world to stop. I want it to speed up. Life feels super long sometimes, like there are too many hours in the day, and my friend Larry just told me that if you have too much time on your hands in New York, then you're doing something wrong. So obviously I'm doing something wrong. And I know it's probably starting to sound like I should see a therapist, but I can mostly manage the million thoughts racing around my head at any given moment. I like the feeling of being burnt out. Like when I forget to hydrate properly and I'm running on 4 hours of sleep spread out over 5 nights. God, I crave that feeling. When I barely have time to shower or eat, but I always make time to eat. I love shoving a bodega sandwich down my face as I'm walking down the street, crumbs falling out the sides of my mouth, mustard getting on my freshly dry cleaned white skirt. I live for that shit. Popping a caffeine pill and drinking 4 cups of coffee before noon, running the chances I might start tweaking out in the middle of a lunch rush at work. Amazing. A big problem that I have is that I tend to date people who don't think like me. And I get that opposites attract and all. There's a flower and the gardener, the kite and the string, some macaroni and the cheese. But sometimes I'm oil with water, and that just doesn't mix. At this point, you're probably thinking, it sounds like I need to be alone, work on myself. You're probably asking, why am I trying to date? And to that I say, good thinking, wise person, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Carmen walks over to the bed and hops in, and lays next to her boyfriend, Ethan, who is already asleep. They lay there together for a moment. Carmen opens her eyes wide awake. He rolls over to face her, briefly opening his eyes, and is met with Carmen staring into his soul.
Jesus!
Hi.
What in the world are you doing?
I was waiting for you to wake up.
By staring at me.
Apparently humans can sense when they're being watched.
And you couldn't just tap me on the shoulder?
I tried that too.
Is everything okay?
I lied to you.
Oh.
It's not a big deal. Well, I don't think it is. Maybe it is.
About what?
We can just talk about it tomorrow. It's okay.
What is it?
Last night, earlier, 4 hours ago, when I said I didn't want to have sex because I was tired.
Yes?
Well, I wasn't actually tired. I mean, I was because I'm always sort of tired, but it was mostly because I fucked my dildo for like an hour earlier, and I came so many times I honestly didn't think I'd feel anything if we had sex.
Okay.
Are you mad?
No?
Good, because you shouldn't be.
Then why'd you ask?
Because you're the one always saying we should communicate better.
Okay.
Are you upset?
No.
Good, because people should be able to masturbate freely.
I didn't say that they shouldn't.
Yeah, but you never masturbate.
I never have time.
Are you insinuating that I'm a loser with nothing better to do than masturbate?
No!
So we're on the same page then.
About what?
Masturbation is healthy for relationships.
Sure.
Good.
I'm confused.
About what?
Why did you lie?
I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but now you say you don't care, so...
I didn't say I don't care.
Oh.
I don't care that you masturbate, but I don't want that to be a replacement for us having sex.
I know.
You do enjoy having sex with me, right?
Yes, obviously.
Carmen!
What?
You looked away when you said that.
No, I didn't.
You just did it again!
You know prolonged eye contact stresses me out.
Look at me. Do you enjoy having sex with me?
She opens her eyes wide, really forcing herself to make direct eye contact, concentrating so hard she forgets to breathe.
Yes!
Why was that so hard?
Most of the time.
Oh.
I love you.
You orgasm?
Yeah,
Every time?
of course I do.
So how do you only enjoy it most of the time?
I think we have different sex drives.
Why's that?
When we first started dating, you said sex wasn't a main motivator in your life.
Is sex a main motivator in your life?
Yes? No? I don't know. Yes, I'm a sexual person. I love you.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because I do. I love you.
Are you attracted to me?
I love you. You're my partner.
Wow.
I think you're the cutest being in the world.
Oh my god, you're not attracted to me.
I am. I just think that maybe we've lost that spark, and we're only 25, so that feels really strange to say, because I feel like usually people talk about losing the spark when they've already lost themselves, and I haven't even found myself yet. Sometimes I think about other people when we have sex. Do you do that too?
No!
I don't know, you paused!
Because you just said that you think about other people when we have sex.
I'm not thinking about orgies, it's just
My
one
mind didn't
person
even
at a
get
time.
to go to orgies. Do your mind often go to orgies?
Define often.
Oh my god.
This is what I mean, Ethan. We think about different things.
Are you trying to suggest that I'm abnormal because I'm not casually thinking about group sex?
Calling it group sex is the exact thing I'm talking about. You're taking all this sex appeal out of it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna vomit.
I love you, Ethan.
What does love even mean to you?
Carmen goes to respond but can't because she doesn't know. Lights dim except for a spotlight on Carmen.
I watched my first porno when I was 10. I didn't mean to. Well, maybe I did. We had just learned about sex in health class at school. I found it entirely gross and wildly intriguing. I needed more information. So that night, I went on my family's Dell desktop, usually reserved for Leapfrog, and I typed in sex. I have a vague memory of some cheerleader getting fucked, but the clearer memory, the lasting feeling, was guilt. I joined my parents downstairs for dinner afterwards and started crying. 10-year-old Lutheran me couldn't handle it. I didn't get in trouble, but the family computer did get parental controls. In retrospect, it was probably telling that some odd years later, the only thing I wanted to be more than an actress was to be a slut. It wasn't a clear shot. I had other aspirations along the way as well. 13-year-old me wanted to save herself for college, a modest goal. But 14-year-old me met a German foreign exchange student and couldn't drop her white underwear fast enough. I know virginity is a construct, but I lost mine on Earth Day. It was also Good Friday. At my high school, 14 was the norm. Maybe not the norm, but let's just say I wasn't the first in my close friend group to see a penis. Sometimes I think I might die alone. Or that my emotionally and verbally abusive ex-boyfriend stunted my emotions. Then I think, do I care? I wonder if my views on sex will flip again. Maybe I'll end up a nun. Or maybe acting won't work out and I'll be a nun in a porno. I'm already 25 though, so if I wait any longer, I'll be doing MILF porn. Though the queen of MILF porn, Lisa Ann, did graduate from my high school. Perhaps another telling sign.
Lights up across the stage. Ethan is sitting on the edge of the bed.
Can we talk?
It's 4 a.m.
Well, you're awake, so.
We already talked.
Yeah, and then you started crying.
Because my girlfriend doesn't find me attractive and wants to have orgies.
I never explicitly said any of that.
How did you expect me to take any of it then?
Are you seriously telling me you never have any dirty thoughts?
Like what?
I don't know, like do you ever check out girls' asses when they're walking by?
No.
Really?
That's disrespectful. People aren't objects.
It's an ass.
On a human.
Ethan, come on. What about Annalisa?
My boss?
Yeah,
What about her?
she's fucking hot. Do you ever, I don't know, daydream about...
Do you want to have sex with my boss?
This isn't about me. This is about you. Reason with me here. Annalisa is built like Kate Upton, and she's got that adorable Ukrainian accent, and she's a literal genius. Come on.
You're my girlfriend.
Ethan.
I had a sex dream about her once. Once! It just happened. I couldn't control it.
Finally.
It was pretty recent, actually.
Is that when you woke me up in the middle of the night with a boner?
Yes, I felt really guilty about it.
I thought that was super unlike you.
Have you seriously thought about fucking my boss?
Honestly,
Yes.
I'm what just thinking about her.
Jesus fucking
You
Christ!
said to be honest! You can't entrap me!
She's married, Carmen!
Yeah, openly.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
You said openly. Openly what?
She's in an open marriage.
No, she isn't. How would you know?
Nicole found them on Tinder.
Them?
Her and her husband, they were looking for a third.
Why would you keep that from me?
She's your boss. I didn't want to make it weird.
Well, it's definitely weird now. I mean, everything is weird.
What if we tried that?
Tried what?
An open relationship.
Ethan starts to choke up.
No. Fuck, I didn't mean to make you cry again.
I need a moment.
Ethan walks away. Carmen remains still like a kid in a timeout. A moment, he turns back.
Is it just about the sex?
What?
Do you just want to fuck other people?
No. But maybe. Like, it's not as though I'm looking for another significant other, but
I'm not enough.
you're more than enough. You're my best friend. You massage my feet on the floor when I'm taking a shit. I don't want anyone else to do that.
Yeah, because no one else is going to do that.
You're not the problem. It's me. I want that spark, you know, that initial attraction. I want to be able to explore whatever that is, the chase. I just want to experience that over and over again. And it genuinely makes me depressed to think that it couldn't happen if we stayed together monogamously. But I also love you, and I love that you accept my flaws and my farts, and I love your endless support and the care that you give me daily, but
Carmen faces the audience. Spotlight.
my best friend says I'm spontaneous and romantic, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it has an Achilles heel too. She's very smart.
Nicole appears on stage and speaks to Carmen.
You've got a really beautiful soul that is very attractive and attracts most everyone around you, so it's really natural for you to meet someone you feel truly connected with, and that's wonderful. But it's like sometimes you go into tunnel vision when that happens. It's because you're excited, and it's completely well intended, but I think that it also comes with some complicated downsides, just as any romantic habits would. Does this resonate, or am I just speaking out of my ass?
Nicole sits down at the table stage left and picks up a book to read. Spotlight on Carmen. To the audience.
A man once told me these things about myself. 1, that I'm scared of intimacy. 2, I try to control every situation in my life. 3, I push sex. 4, I hate gray areas. 5, I have baggage from growing up in a religious household. To be fair, only my mom is religious, but my grandfather was a pastor, so I think that makes up for my agnostic father. That man told me that 6 years ago, and all those things hold mostly true today. He was 37 and I was 19, kind of problematic, but I've always had a thing for older men.